Good morning, Mark Soderberg with ADM Investor Services with your ag market outlook for Tuesday morning, November the 5th. Well, Election Day is finally here. If you haven't done so already, please remember to get out and vote. Depending on who is sitting in the Oval Office next January, could have a big impact on agricultural policies and prices. So brace yourselves for some potential volatility in coming weeks and months. Overnight, there was not a whole lot of volatility, although as we get closer to the pause, we are tilting a little bit higher here, led by wheat prices, currently up 3 to 5 cents near session highs. Speculative traders yesterday were light buyers in corn, beans, and meal, flat in wheat, while selling off about 3,000 contracts in the bean oil. We've got the corn money manager position now down to short only about 12,000 contracts, which would be their smallest short position in 15 months. So we've seen quite a bit of evening up here ahead of today's election. Similar story in the meal, where that long position now is down to about 10,000 contracts. Speculative traders remain short wheat and beans, long a little bit in the bean oil. No surprises with the U.S. crop progress report. Corn harvest at 91%, bean harvest at 94%, both ahead of their historical averages. Winter wheat plantings have reached 87%. That's slightly below the recent years. Of the crop that has emerged, 41% of the winter wheat is in good to excellent shape. That's up 3% for the week, as recent rains that have tracked across the Midwest have benefited the crops here a little bit. We look for a significant drop in U.S. drought ratings here in the coming weeks, as the near-term outlook remains wetter than normal. Forecasts for South America also remain mostly favorable, with a good mix of rain and sunshine over the next week to 10 days. According to Ags Are Up, soybean plantings in Brazil, they've reached 54% as of late last week. That is now above the historical average after a slow start. First crop corn plantings, they're at 60%. We do look for an update from the Buenos Aires Grain Exchange on Thursday on production or crop estimates in Argentina. Their plantings were just underway last week at just over 3%. Friday's USDA report, I've got corn production at 15.24 billion with an average yield, a record yield at 184.3. This estimate is up 37 million from the USDA forecast in October. Despite the higher supplies, I do look for ending stocks to drop about 25 million bushels to 1.966 billion. I've got 70 million higher on the demand side with higher exports and for ethanol production. My soybean production forecast at 4.575 billion. That's down 7 million from last month. Still a record, however, and a record yield still at 53 bushels an acre. I've got slightly lower exports, slightly higher crush, very little change in ending stocks at remaining at 553 million bushels. No changes to the wheat balance sheet is what I see. Ending stocks remaining at 812. Pretty much my production and stocks estimates fall slightly to the higher end of the range of guesses, this being the Reuters ranges that has been so far released. Inside trade overnight here on D's corn, support below the market at the 412, 413 area, and resistance above the market at last week's high at 424. Big crop, big demand right now, limiting price swings. Jan beans hovering very near that $10 level here. If we try to break out, we've got contract lows just below the market, just under 975, with the 50-day moving average resistance just above the market at 1025. Meal's hovering near $300 a ton, while oil, at least for now, has rejected trade back over 46 cents. Wheat also just grinding sideways here, a little bit rebound here overnight. We finally got results from the recent Egyptian tender. They did buy 290,000 metric tons of wheat from Black Sea region, priced at about $275 a metric ton on a CNF basis. So thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and please remember to vote.